because of the pain, but the pain never leaves. The pain, I lose my spouse, I lose my father, and I have to take care of the family still. So I was trying to come with the bags of food stuff, wherever. But they don't know what I'm doing. They say, oh, it's successful now, but they don't know what I'm on. My name is Nelson James Bene. I'm from Moshi, original, but my father is from Arusha. He's the grandchild of the Chief Simeon Bene, Kokan of Arusha. I was born in 1978, August 1st.
Here in Moshi?
No, I was born in Moshi, but not here where we are, up in the mountains, where you see behind me the KSMC hospital in Shanty Town. I was raised and grew up in Moshi Town.
How was your upbringing? How was your life as a child?
My life was good during the primary school education. Then when it comes to secondary school, I start going into weed. I used it when I was in the, let's say, Form 3 for Tanzania, you can say. Then I started having trouble a little bit with my father. But I tried to keep it up. Sometimes we were friends, sometimes we quarrel.
What sort of trouble?
Trouble of I had a little bit bad friends at school, so they manipulate me. Then we start alcohol and a little bit of weed, cigarettes. We never go to the girls. We were just open. We just boys party. And as long as I just go through that, I start spending my time more with tourism business. I start being a porter of the Kilimanjaro mountain back there. I was carrying luggage, and that is after my father started to sick with cancer. He was diagnosed with jaw cancer because he was a smoker as well, of cigarette and alcohol. I tried to go through that, but I had to take some of my time serving the family because I had younger sisters, a brother, a mother. So I move on and check that everything will be fine. So I went into the little college of tourism
Also here in Moshi?
here in Moshi. Just a small course. But the most course I was learning in the street, not in the college. Over suddenly, 1998, I met a Spanish spouse. I'll disclose her name. We started a relationship together. We were traveling. Then we started selling coconuts bags. We chopped the coconut bag and the coconut in the half, we put a zip. But we're all smoking weed still.
You put,
Alcohol.
you put the marijuana inside the coconut?
No, we was smoking. But we put the coconut bags we make for clients. So clients, when they buy, we can buy our weed, we can pay our rent, and we can go on. Then it came a time we went together to Dar es Salaam with my spouse. Then we moved to Mozambique, Maputo. While I was in Maputo, I was called that my father is serious, critical sick. With the embassy unknown, but I was contacted there where I was because of my passport document. So I get back, I take care a little bit, then I go back to Mozambique. But when I'm in Mozambique, I found out my wife is already back, my spouse, because we were not married, she's already back in Dar es Salaam. I found out where we was used to hang out in Dar es Salaam, smoke our weed. We stayed. Then one day, I get just a crazy feeling that you should go back home now. I started my travel in the middle of the night. As long as I was using not public transport, I had to use lorries, joining lorries after lorry. This one is going to Tanga, this one is going to Kilimanjaro. As soon as I get here, I find my friend. He's just driving around town. That was around 12, 6 midnight. I asked him to take me home. He took me to my home. I went there, I talked to my dad. But sadly, after 3 hours, he passed away. At 3:31 midnight, early in the morning. I took him to the morgue. Then we started the preparation. We prepare how to transfer his body to Arusha in the homeland where he was born. The family was coming. I was still active. But going forward, as I'm addicted to marijuana, I went to buy marijuana somewhere. And I was caught with the cops. When I was caught, I asked the cops, they asked me, what do you have in your bag? I said, I have marijuana. I didn't want to lie to them. What for? I say my dad is dead. I cannot mention the name, but they tell me, take us to where the funeral is. I brought them. Happened to be their colleagues with my dad. So they are also involved in the funeral. They leave me to stay with my little Marwan. I said, this is to go to the funeral of my father. If you take me in, I wouldn't like it. We start the travel to the village. I went to the village. Before we bury my father, just 2 days ago, 2 days before burial, I saw my spouse arriving with her friends. She was from somewhere abroad. She was helpful in the kitchen. We stayed together. We buried my father. After that, after 3 good days, she told me that it's over me and you. So in 1 week, I lost my dad, I lost my spouse. I start wandering around the streets. Until I meet some friends. They tell me, weed is just nothing. Test this one. Say, what is this? It's powder. I say, this we mix in the weed. It can become a cocktail. It's a good thing. It will make you feel calm and better. We started a group of like 4 people. We always contacted each other. Early in the morning we contacted. There was no enough for even phones, but we contact, we know we will meet in the dealer's house. So I start feeling good. Because if you mix marijuana and a beer and a little bit of gin, I was feeling good. We developed that movement for almost 6 months. Then I switched. I started not to take white heroin. I started to buy white heroin from the dealer. Through, even if I don't have the money, I can get it for free. And then this free is what I go to sell to other people to make more people addicted so that I can get customer. And I was not hunting cheap customers. I was hunting customers which they can pay double or triple the price so that I can get my feeding because I was already addicted. I keep going with that. I find the customers. I move with them. I always have, from the first dealer, then I have another dealer there. I have another dealer there. So if this dealer owes me some amount, I will go to another one to take. And then I will pay this one, and then I will pay this one. Then I'll come to this one. So all the dealers are in balance. They keep feeding me. My doors rise. When they come to introduce me to brown sugar, it's a type of heroin also, what you use in foil paper You burn it, and then is when you can smoke it. So my table have got weed. My table have got a cocktail of white powder. My table have brown sugar. So I go with three things. Even the rest is cigarette must be there. It's only light all over the time. Because I know when I finish, I will go to my customer and sell my thing. And I will get another dose for the next day. I started to go large. I move even over the region to the nearby region, Tanga, Arusha, Mombasa, to look for drugs so that I can sell. Then I was trying to move. All of a sudden, they buy one little car. And then I get another one from loan so that I can switch. Every time when cops are following me, I can switch the cars. This keep going on because of the pain, but the pain never leave. The pain, I lose my spouse, I lose my father, and I have to take care of the family still. So I was trying to come with the bags of food stuff, wherever. But they don't know what I'm doing. They say, oh, it's successful now, but they don't know what I'm on. I go on. I started a relationship with one of the dealers. Because most of my dealers, two were female, one is just a male. So I started a relation with one. So it was like a click. If I want, it comes to me. Not even me to follow there, because we're in relation. Or even where I wake up with her, I'll take my thing and go to sell. She had a son somewhere, which was born with another person. She was having that child with another person, but I was supporting that child. That child went to a lot of hospitals. She had a problem since she was born. So I was supporting two families at the time. I was supporting the dealer family, and if the dealer have problem buying stuff, if I have a door, I give her. If she have a door, she give me. So I keep going. And still I keep the other dealers online. Then we team up a good group of like 5 people, which we are assured to have money in a day. Even if we sleep with a single shilling, but the morning, one of us will go and find our morning breakfast. So we can be active and meeting up in the middle of the day, and we have full supplies to everybody get it. One of them of ours in India, and somewhere Europe, another Europe, and 2 Tanzania. And a team will do anything to get the money, but we never rob anybody. We was going throughout the pen. We come to you, you will give us money, what we want. What we tell you, you will trust us. Because we are dressed well. We are not dressed like street people most of the time. We always buy new clothes when we get the money. So if we know we have got to come to somebody, we go there smart. But you will not get deliver your stuff. You will get your stuff delivered after another one is conned. They bring to you, and this one will wait for us. Another one will come. So it's like a game. Cops decide starting looking for us. We move with them along. Unfortunately, one day I remember I went a little bit farther from the town. I was driving like 130 kilometers, so going return is 160 to pick up merchandise. Then my spouse called me, my son is dead. I say, what? How can I do it? Here there is no flight where I am. And she was a Muslim, so they do burial right away. Died at 10 o'clock, we were buried 1 o'clock. So I tried to drive hard, but I couldn't make it. She also left me. So she said, I don't care. I became humble again. I was just moving from a friend's house because I could not come to my family anymore because I'm too much of addiction. I met one other person from Europe. He became a good customer. Good customer. So now we are like 6 in the team. Become a good customer. His bundle is good. You deliver to him today, you jump one day, the next day you deliver. And a good door. Move it with it. It was helping me to go through. I was remaining with 2 jeeps. I don't have a place to stay. My clothes stays in the laundry. When I have money is when I go to the laundry. If I don't have money, I go to buy second-hand clothes. At least I can change. But I keep selling my movement. Until after some time, this rich guy who come into the game asked me, can I invest in your company? Then he invested 2 more cars. I opened a taxi company.
Drug trading.
Yeah, drug. This one is a taxi company, but this old taxi, they are moving drugs around. So if I'm using this one, I can change to this one, so cops are looking for this one, I'm already with this one. So movement goes. Until it come, the government was owing us a lot of money. They took 1 car. They put it in a reserve. Until you pay, you will get this car. Then through drugs again. I'm already high on drugs. 1 car was stolen. So I remain only with 2 again. I sit and think, drug people start not to believe me because I don't have that spouse of drug again. And all the dealers, they don't believe me at the moment. I cannot get the amount which I wanted. And most of my big customers, they've left the country already. So the income is very low. You cannot tell the local here to buy drugs 3 times the price. So I decided I sell one to remain with one. I keep going with that money of one car. While it is the only thing, I have to sleep with it. I have to do tax with it. I have to move around with it, supplying a little merchandise. It comes a day I wake up. I say I'm gonna sell this shit and I'm gonna go to the hospital myself. Oh, plan B is to commit suicide. That was 2002. I wanted to take my life. I went downtown. I sold the car. I have was not that expensive for the cars in that days. For Tanzania, you could get a car $1,800 around. You can get a good car. I sold it for $15,000. I've got my money here. It's like 2 million and something in that time. But I go psycho. Because if I see even the car of police, I'm hiding. If I see anybody using drugs, I'm hiding because my mindset, I switched it already kwamba enough is enough. Now I'm gonna go off this thing. I'm not gonna sell it. I'm not gonna buy it for me. Let it be what can be. I really walk around like a stranger. I think I walk all the region. If I find somewhere there's a fruit, I try to eat. Seconds later, I will vomit. I say, okay.
You were in recovery at this time, or are you still using?
No, I just decided that day I'm not gonna use my morning dose. I was not starting to recover. It's just 24 hours of not using. So the trouble starts because the body needs the big dose in. Even cigarette, I could not take it. I try any food, you drink a soda, you vomit. I say, here I have to take the option 2, suicide.
I'm so happy that you did not.
I didn't know that I've already changed my face because I don't have a mirror to look. I'm walking by feet. Sometimes I take taxi to go A to B. I try to drink beer, but it doesn't go. It was the evening, sometimes I decide that let me go check the place for suicide. I went to one bridge which is nearby the town. It's called called the Karanga River. I sit there in the cliff, which big lorries are passing from down the stream from I. They are passing lorries, and I'm in the hill which cover the bridge. I say, if I throw myself in one of these lorries, it's going to smash me fast. I think, I say no. Let me go to the pharmacy. If I get tablets, strong, like flagyl, strong antibiotic, I go and drink with hard alcohol, I will go fast. I went into the pharmacy. I asked them, I'm looking for flagyl and paracetamol. Because I know if I say flagyl only, they'll say flagyl always doctor write with paracetamol. I say with paracetamol. They look at me. I didn't know my face was already looking strange. They say, no, we cannot sell you. Where is your doctor prescription? Without prescription, we don't give you any medicine. I say, okay. Then I walk along, because the pharmacy was near that bridge where the cliff was sitting. I went to the pharmacy, then I just went to the bridge. I look at the water flowing into the river. It's deep, like 50 meters long, until you hit the stone down there. I took my glasses off and throw them over. I see they are breaking. But then I say that, but how will they find my body and bury it to the safe place? A good Samaritan came. It was the old man with the bicycle, passing in the bypass people, which are passing next to the bridge. The cars are passing there. Then I had to move in the end of the bridge so that I can give him distance. To pass with his bicycle, I've got a big bag and the fruit, and he was sent with God. I move along until the end. I say, but if I die in Moshi, it will cost my family a lot of money. To transfer me again to Arusha, no. It's better I walk until I reach Arusha and see my grandpa and say hello and then die. I will find somewhere where they can give me something. I start moving, and then I was confused, and then I say, no. What about if I go and see my mother? And if I can see if the hospital they can do anything. Then I came back. I took a minivan, this Dala. I went to Moshi. As I arrived in the house, it was like, I think, evening time, 7. When my mother looked at me, she dropped her plates of food. She couldn't believe it's my son I'm looking at. They give me a glass of juice. As soon as I take that glass of juice, I start vomiting. My sister was there. My sister, she's clever. She tell me, you know what, bro? I've got injections which I have to go every time. So can you escort me to the hospital? I couldn't reply even. They have to rush and take a taxi and rush me to the hospital. Because I was already like start gone. Because I've not taken a pill, but the energy is finished. I need the heat. I never use my arm to inject. I was using sniffing, smoking, and just the drug one. And also some stuff, hashish, LSD, speed. But injection, I was afraid of them. And that's what saved me until today. And that should save the world in general, Africa in general, Europe, Asia. You can be okay if you don't use needle, but you have to never try using drugs. I went to the hospital. I was received in the hospital. I was diagnosed with at least all diseases around the world. Amoeba, typhoid, malaria, loss of blood, low water. So I had blood here, water, tablets here to save my life. It didn't work well. I went to the referral hospital through the ambulance. It's my first time to be in the ambulance. And in that hospital, also it went wrong. I was diagnosed that I have a psychiatric a little bit in my brain. So I have to be transferred to another region to be treated psychiatric. Meanwhile, I'm treated the other disease.
Also, while you were recovering from
The abuse. At the same time, I'm still recovering from the abuse, but I'm a psycho, and I'm still using drugs for amoeba, typhoid, malaria, all. It was coming like a full dose, like for 5 people. All I'm taking in. I don't know how many drips I had that days, because I was staying in the hospital for over 6 months. Thanks to one of my aunt was saving me. She was a nurse in one hospital which I was taking, and she's a professional psychiatrist. So she was taking care of the psycho, because most of the time I was becoming my body like this. I couldn't move. So they have to give me injections or whatever. That's my nerves. They can go back. Food, I was eating food of 5 people per day. Because when you're in drugs, you eat just this little. Size of a young chicken. It's enough for you per day. And maybe 1 beer, 2 beer, you are done. I went over. At last I come to recover after 9 months and a half or whatever. Almost 1 year. Because that recover, which I call it, is when you are brought back to house but you are still in bed rest. Family is taking care of you.
You were lucky to have a family to help you.
Yeah. So I tell the youngster, because good things happen after that. But the problem is I had no any memory. Even most of my family member, I could remember a few of them. They had to train them me again, their names, and who are they. I'm your uncle, don't you remember me? Because I was clearing my head of all. I start to learn to live again, like a 1 year old. After 1 year again, 2 years, that's 1 year in bed, 1 year again, is when I start to be a person. That I could walk alone. I was always have to be with a bodyguard. Because, yes, I don't want, I hate all the corners which I was always been to smoke my drug. I started new different places. And good things happen. I come to find a new spouse after 4 years from recover, 2005. She even took me abroad. I come back. I've opened a company, it's called Park and Go Tanzania Adventure. Park and Go Tanzania Adventure. We stayed together for 4 years, and then she gone. She gone, she died. I went back, not to drugs, to too much alcohol. Now I switched my addiction because I think alcohol is the best thing, and stay in the all bars late until all the bars are closed. Then I find another one. She starts softly, but not much long. She starts advising me using drugs, but not heroin again. It's cocaine, LSD, speed. I really use that sometime in the weekends. And then I say, no, I'm not going back there. I decide enough is enough. I go back to my beer. And I won't advise anybody to take drugs all over the world.
It's very strong that you can recover and then take the drug and then say no. That's very
Yes.
rare that people that do that. Most
It's
they-
very hard.
Most they relapse.
It's very hard. So I say, okay. I move up from the big city. I say, okay, just gonna go to my village. and build my little tiny hut that I can stay and live as a villager. Over there I found my sweetheart. We got married. We stayed 2 years. And now last year she's gone from pneumonia. And she left me a daughter taken care of, and God bless me. One big message to Tanzanians all over the world. I can say in a northern region, there is only 2 rehab hospitals which can take care of drug abused, alcohol abused people. Take care of them, like shelter, food, medicine like methadone. So we need help. If anybody can help with that, we can start small. Boys have become so bad in this region now. A big number. Back in the days when I was using the drugs, it was like you can count people. In the town, like 30 people, but now we are going over 500 in one town. All the people, they don't know the effect of it. Some, they want to leave it, but they cannot afford the money to go to rehab, because they have to take care there of their shelter. Some, they've already don't know where their parents are, because they move from region to region to region. All they were using drugs. So if possible, that can be settled. Some more rehab center in Tanzania. And more hospital, even a referral hospital, they can have methadone for the sick ones. They can put in the section of the psychiatric. It will help a lot of lives, because most they want to leave it, but they don't know where to start. You consultation people, if you make consultation, it will be the best thing. Because all you need in one rehab, you need one male nurse, one female nurse, one doctor, one consultation person. Medicine, beds, a shelter. One cook to cook for them. A library maybe, like entertainment center, so that they are not being bored, where they can sit and chat. We can save the life of people in Tanzania.
Did you go to a rehab center?
No, I didn't go. Back in the days, there was no rehab. Rehab, you have to go to Nairobi or you have to go to South Africa. And sadly, I lost almost 7 of my friends. Because now I have 23 years of drugs. And I praise the Lord for that. Don't give up. Even if you are deep in drugs, don't give up. I was one of the victims, but I didn't do it. Here I am now speaking. after 23 years. Thank you.